right. Okay, we are ready and welcome, 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 and welcome. Technology is always great as long as it works. So, hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jesse. Really appreciate you inviting me to speak with you today.
Well, great to have you. Everyone, this is our Become an Author podcast, and we are having some of the most spectacular authors come on our program. They have books coming out. They're award-winning authors, and Buddy is an award-winning author. His new book, you can see it in my background, The Slippery Slope. And hey, he's got a special launch. His book is already hit #1 internationally. And I just wanted to share this with you today because, we want you to understand the power of becoming an author and who are some of the people that are accomplishing this fantastic feat. So, Buddy, let's talk a little bit about you before we get into the book. And everyone, if there's a link that should be with this post, you can click on it, go to the website and check out Buddy's book. And so we have a special opportunity for 99 cents, but this is a phenomenal book. And so, Buddy, tell us a little bit about you, and then we're going to go and share with everyone about the book.
Well, I've been married 48 years. I'm kind of a product of the 50s and 60s, and met my wife during the Vietnam era, and we were in a hurry to get married young. You never know what war is going to bring about. So we've been married since the mid 70s, and we have been blessed with now 4 generations. We have children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren, and that kind of sums me up. I mean, everything I've done, all of the choices I've made have all circled around family and loving family and having family love me back and support
me. Well, I know we share one thing in common I know of, and that is that you're a former professional bowler. I'm a former professional bowler. And, that is really, again, that was really a big highlight of my life, of being a bowler and, coaching at Duke University. So how long were you on the tour?
I was actually a PBA member for 27 years. I competed mostly in the Western region and, of course, in the Southwestern United States. I did make some trips around the country, and I got to spend a lot of time based on some fantastic sponsors, getting around, spent a lot of time in Reno and Vegas, as pretty much every professional bowler does. And, that 27 years was really, really foundational to pretty much what I've done after I retired from the tour. And, the friendships you make and the people you run into, and like yourself, we have commonality, even though we may never have competed against each other, because in the PBA, everyone's a brother until you're up in the light. That's the way it works.
Well, and that's very true. So what was the pivoting point of you, the PBA tour, the things you were doing in life? How did you make the decision, that pivot in becoming an author? And this is really important because there's so many people that they like the term of writing a book. They want to write a book. They think about writing a book, but they never get around to it, or they've been writing a book for the past 10 years and they still haven't published it yet. And I know that you've got a series of books that you are publishing and you're doing. So how did you, what moved you in the direction of wanting to become an author?
When I decided that it was time to retire, like most professional athletes, I was looking for an identity beyond my previous identity. And even though in the American scene, they always say there's no second acts, you and I both know that's not true. And I made 2 choices. One, I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree and earn my doctorate and do those types of things. And by doing that, I found out that I was actually pretty good at writing. My academic faculty was thrilled with the way I wrote and the way I handled my voice on the written page. And so they said, you really should think about writing, maybe a book, but certainly a lot of articles. So I've had published over 150 articles globally about topics that I'm an expert on. And that pivoted me toward deciding that, you know what, the next phase is really writing a book and taking what I've learned through life and giving back to the people. And that was generated by my committee chair at GCU, who said, you know, it's time for you to give back. You've had a remarkable career. You've had a remarkable life. Your family life is fantastic. You should give back. And I said, you know what? You're absolutely correct. So then that's what caused me to start writing books. And why stop with one? You should write a bunch of books if that's what's in your heart.
Well, you know, that's a really key point, you know, what's in your heart. And I tell everyone that, you know, look at where you are right now and you write from that place. And it's not a difficult job to become a writer and become an author. You just need the right support. You know, if you're trying to struggle and do it by yourself and you don't have a support, then that becomes a problem. But when you decide to actually write a book, then you should go ahead and consult a professional. And I know, Buddy, for me, when I started bowling, I got involved in bowling because after a karate tournament, I went bowling, and my first game was 33. And everybody laughed at me, got on the PA system, and they should have never done that. I came back on that Monday, and I went to the pro shop, and I didn't just buy a ball and start bowling. I actually hired the guy at the pro shop to begin to teach me how to bowl. Bowling with a house ball, teach me how to bowl. And this is the same thing. It's what I call the shortcut. If you want to become an author, then you need to go to an expert that is actually in the publishing business. You can self-publish, that's really easy, but then you may sell very few books. And I know, Buddy, your book is just launched, and I know Natalie is a part of the Elite Publications team now, and she's working with you. And I know that your book has hit the #1 bestseller in quite a few categories. So let's talk about that for a second. I'm gonna try to find that image here on my computer, but let's talk about that, because I know this year is really my first year for having that push with my new book coming out this weekend. And hey, we're gonna be hanging out in Vegas together. But my first big push for an Amazon bestseller. So let's talk about that for a second. And knowing that your book, you know, in the past 24, 48 hours is now being read and published and sold all over the world. How does that feel to you?
Well, first of all, I owe everything to the envisionment of having someone who is more knowledgeable than I am in this space, who was willing to reach out and say, you know what, I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to get you where you're going, which takes me back to my bowling career. You know, I don't care how good you are. Even the guys who are on TV every week, they have a coach. Everyone has a coach. There's going to be times when you get really, really good at something. I call it competency blinders. You get so good that you don't start to see the fault in your work, and you don't start to see the fault. And as writers, you start to get text blind. You've written something and you went back over it. You're ruminating about it. You're like, I want it to be perfect. I want it to be perfect. And what you need to understand is, no, you don't need it to be perfect. What you need is you need to get it out of your head and get it onto the computer. You need to get it onto paper. And then you need to have someone who is accomplished in the space help you massage it into something that is a workable piece of art. You know, we can't all be Michelangelo. We can't always be Leonardo da Vinci, but we certainly can be Buddy Thornton. We can certainly be Jesse. We can do the things that we can do, and then we can let that coach, that mentor who's hanging right on our shoulder, help get us where it's going. And that's what I found is huge. That was another point of me pivoting into the writing space. Is there were a lot of professors, a lot of my peers who would send me documents and say, can you proofread this? Can you may reword it? Can you massage it into something? And in particular, one, he's written 10 books. He's a professor at Penn State. He's written 10 books, and he's like, it is invaluable to have a second set of eyes. You've got to have that coach. You've got to have someone who can say, this is fantastic. let's twist it a little bit right here and let's make it something that is workable and turn it into that work of art that you can sell and you can move out into the public eye. And that's pivotal. That's been powerful for me. And I think that's something that I love doing. And so that's why when Natalie asked if I would work with you guys, I said, yeah, you know what? I want to be with like-minded people.
Well, that's great. And this is what we were looking for as a part of Elite Publication. We've done a fantastic job. I think we're in the next evolution of Elite Publication, and bringing on elite people such as you and Natalie to be able to be that support. So if someone they have a story and they want to get it out, but they're uncertain about their writing. And as you said, you're an expert. Your book is a best-selling book. Who's the best person to work with you on getting your text together than a person that's already a best-selling author? So that those credentials right within itself really shows exactly who you are, and it shows exactly the things you can do. So I tell you, just for a moment, buddy, I just want to share my screen so we can see a screenshot. I think Natalie sent me over a screenshot, and I'm going to share my screen here. And so here we go. That you're making #1. I know she was telling me that you're #1 in Canada, #1 in the US. So where else has it hit?
Wow. It's to me, it's amazing that we have global reach. And it used to, if you wanted to be a name, if you wanted to make a name for yourself, you would speak in front of a group, or you would do something in a local arena, or like in your case, you would coach a college team. Now we can not necessarily pick our audience, but we can allow our audience to pick us. And I think that that's the most important thing. For me, the perfect audience for me, the perfect client for me, is someone who wants to get their story out, share their whatever they have that they want to share. It can be their legacy, it can be just a story, whatever it is, but they're not really sure about the next step. And so if nothing else, if they just get someone to open the door, or perhaps maybe they have raw material that they want to have reworked, we can certainly rework something until people are happy with it. And we can also ghostwrite. If someone wants to sit and just tell me their story, if someone spends 2-3 hours telling me their story and allows me to record what they're telling me, and then they're willing to share time with me, we massage that into their piece of work. Because it's not my story. They can treat me like I'm a tool. I'm their computer. I'm their voice. I'm just helping them get their voice made. And to me, that was never available before. It wasn't something that someone could just reach out and grab. Now, with the world the way it is today, we can all do that. We can reach out and grab someone who can help get us around that corner. And that's basically what we offer. Regardless of where you are on the corner, we're going to help you get around the corner.
Well, and that's one thing there for most people to help them to relieve that anxiety of thinking about, I want to write a book, but my English is not good. I don't know anything about sentence structure, first person, second, so they're uncertain about that. But that's the thing about technology, because we can coach and work with anyone in the world. If you've got a story that you want to get out, as Buddy was just saying a few moments ago, and again, Buddy's got several books out. He's got he's got several other books in his series he's going to be publishing. And again, so Buddy, what's the name of your book?
The name of my book that's being released today is The Slippery Slope, Teen and Young Adult Edition. And it's an education book that focuses on the 4 pillars of life. And it is a one-on-one conversation with the kids who pick up the book and read it. I intended it to be non-prescriptive. I'm not telling them what to do. I am giving them a window into their world, and I'm giving them the steps on how to make their world optimized in their way. They can create it in their own image. And that was what book 3 is. The upcoming book in a couple of days, which is the parent and teacher edition, is a conversation with the parents that shares what I shared in book 3. And it allows the parents to realize, hey, these kids need a voice in their own world and in their own creation. And the passion that I put into the books is what I believe is creating the drive to make them bestsellers, because I'm speaking from the heart and I'm not telling people what to do, but I'm giving them a roadmap on how to do it.
Right, right. Well, everyone, this is a good point for you to think about. If you feel that there's a book in you, there's a message. The question is, do you feel there's something that you have that could make the world a better place? In my martial arts community, you know, we have the technique of punching and kicking, but remember, that's in many cases, people don't want that, but they do want to know, how has the discipline in the martial arts, what have you learned that can now make a difference in their lives? Do you have a story? Where are you right now? And that doesn't matter. You know, I just released my first Christian book about 6-7 months ago, but my wife is a pastor and I'm at this spiritual place, and the book is called God Gives Me Vision. So that's exactly where I was and still is, you know, back a couple of months ago. So I wrote a book, and all this information, once you start doing it, that is actually the easy process. To, you know, that's like if a person prints, they publish one book, then publishing 2, 3, 4, you know, books is something that comes very easy. Like I said, I've published over 30 books. I published a book on bowling, a book on martial arts, even a book on basketball and golf. So, I mean, so once you get to that place and you realize how much knowledge that you, from your own experience, that you can put into help someone else to become better at what they're actually doing. So, Buddy, do you have a website that we can go check out some other things?
I do have a company website. I own BCT Mediations Plus. I'm a mediator and I help people get through conflict. But again, part of that was the drive to write, was to find a way to proactively help people to avoid conflict in the first place. Mm-hmm. My website is bctmediationsplus.com, and it's, you know, strictly about helping people. It's strictly about being accessible. We are in the process of adding my books onto the website. We're in the process of opening a store that's going to give access to my classes. I teach 21 different classes, and they're all aimed at how I brand, which is Buddy, the Positive Social Change Agent Pro. I'm all about helping you get from where you are to where you want to be along the way you want to go. It's your journey. It's not my journey. It's your journey. I'm going to make you happy. But when I was a pro, I had competitors who were always around me, and you know, you learn so much from those competitors. And one of them told me, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's what's next. What is next? And when I threw a 300 game, they were like, okay, that's great. Go do it again. And so it's not about taking a solitary journey. It's about understanding that everyone around you is going to be supportive of you. If you verbalize that you're writing a book and you want to make something, they're going to help you do that. Let somebody who's got the expertise do it for you.
Well, you know, and for my friends that's going to be hanging out in Las Vegas with us for the Bill Wallace tribute and the release of the Bill Wallace Martial Artists Changing Lives biography book, Buddy is going to be in Vegas. His book has won an award. He's going to be actually one of our speakers. So, and it's going to be in Vegas. And you may say, well, Jesse, I'm not going to be able to make Las Vegas, hang out with you guys. Not a problem. We're going to broadcast it on our publishing website. You can go there and hang out and take a class, learn more about how one book can change your life. And just like with Buddy, you know, I retired sold my business, retired from Duke University, and I plan on sitting beside the bank and just doing fishing. And I launched one book, and that one book, you know, the Who's Who in the Martial Arts series. Now we're in book number 8, getting ready to go to book number 9 in that series of books. So you never know when you voice your opinion, and that someone now reads your book and they like it and you continue to write on it. And, you know, one thing I like to tell everyone, Buddy, when they're thinking about writing a book, there are one of three reasons people write a book. Reason number one is something you always wanted to do. It's on your bucket list. It's one of those things you always wanted to do. And that book is a fairly simple and easy book. That book doesn't even have to sell on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. It can be a personal book, biography book or memoir type book for your family. You know, we have Hunchy the Fate. He's just written a memoir which tells his life journey. He's 80, still competing, tells his life's journey. But it was written to give his kids, his grandkids, a background of who he is as a person, but his life story is very intriguing. The second type of book is a book that you wanted to do something for you. So do something for you. Maybe I wanted to promote my martial arts business. So I write a book on how to have a positive attitude through the martial arts. Hadn't thought about that title, but I may use it. You know, but I write a book on that. And because now when parents come in my school, I give them a copy of my book because they're bringing their kids and they're going to say, I want them to have a positive attitude. Here's my book. This is my gift to you. And because I have that book, my martial arts business now grows because I am an author. Now, if I'm a best-selling author, that means, hey, that is super fantastic. And then the third reason is because you have something that a lot of people want to know. And this is the way your book is, Buddy. You know, the past 24 hours, it's made #1, you know, in several countries on Amazon. So that means that your book offers something that a lot of people want to know. And I think it's written that way that everybody can get something from it and get something out of it. And so that's the way you're going to monetize, because you've got 100,000 people that are interested in that subject and they want to be a part of that. So monetizing your book is that third reason that you've got something to offer that a lot of people want to know. Of course, it's probably one of the most difficult things because it is marketing. If you're trying to do it by yourself, that's a tough job. That's the reason why you got people like Natalie and Jim and yourself, that we come together and we build a plan. See, when you have a plan, you can succeed. But if you're doing it out of just random things, the likelihood of you succeeding is very low. So, you know, again, congratulations. I'm very excited, you know, for you. Everyone, Buddy's going to be in Vegas at Take Center Stage. Again, the book has already won an award at the Take Center Stage. That's going to be happening Saturday evening. It's going to be live and it's going to be broadcast 6 p.m. And that's going to be on West Coast time, 6 p.m. But, you know, check it out, you know, follow what we're doing. And remember, everybody has a story. Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. And if you say to yourself, well, I don't really have a story, then what you should do is go to Elite Publications, set up a time to meet with me, and let's talk about your life and discover where that story is and find that thing that you offer, your legacy. Everyone has a legacy. They do. And that can be a bad things that happen in your life. You tell people what not to do. And it also can be about good things that happen in your life, and you're telling people what they should do. So remember, you can have a story. Elite Publications, we are looking for martial artists. We're looking for individuals that want to share that story. Again, in Vegas, we have Randy Blake is releasing his book, Marvin King, Sean Hartley, Hunchy the Fate. So we have about 5 or 6 martial artists who have published their books, and it's going to be released in Vegas. So check it out. But remember, one book can change your life forever. Your story can make a difference in the lives of others in there. So remember, you can go to Amazon. We have this special that we're doing with Buddy's book. You can, it's your Kindle, 99 cents. So go there, click on, listen, for 99 cents to have a great book. Even this book can change your life. So having this book as a part of your reading material, read it, learn something, and be able to share it with others. So go there, check it out. Again, it's 99 cents, and you can just go to Amazon and check it out. Buddy, anything else that you want to add?
Well, I think that what the people need to really understand is that if you have the passion to do something, the passion is going to come through. And when the passion comes through, people are going to pay attention. And when people pay attention and you have the right support people around you, the right team around you, the monetization follows. If you get into something strictly to make money, how passionate can you be? But if you get into something because you have passion, usually things work out, and you just have to trust that in the faith that your team is going to get there for you. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a living example of the team always gets you there. It isn't always me. Yes, my passion drives it, but wow, when you have a fantastic team around you, it just makes it a lot easier. I've really enjoyed this interview, Jesse. It's fantastic that you allowed me to spend time with you.
Well, thank you. And again, I'm really excited about the success of your book and the different things that you've got going on. And everyone, if you are looking to publish a book, you're thinking about publishing a book, or you ask that question, I have a book, I believe I have a book inside me. Or if you've been writing that book for the past 10 or 12 years, then, give us a contact, call us. And my telephone number is 919-618-8075. Go to elitepublications.org. That's elitepublications.org. Schedule a time and I'll meet with you, share with you, listen to your story. And I'll give you my honest opinion on whether or not, okay, you have a story. I think we need to launch it. And, Buddy used the word massage. So no matter wherever you are, your team, which is Elite Publications, we can help you eliminate the pitfalls. And we're going to support you in making the best book that you could ever write. Just like with Buddy's book, we want every book to be better than the book before. So everyone, hey, this is Jesse Bowen, and this is the podcast, Become an Author. Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. So, Buddy, be blessed and much success.
Blessings to you, Jesse. Have a wonderful day.